Update. Am I the a-hole for predetermining my baby's sex? Original post. Okay, to start, me 27 female and my husband 28 male have been married for 4 years. His parents, his mother specifically, and I have never had any problems, but we've never quite meshed or seen eye to eye. We've always just got along and been civil. Our future family has been a talk for years. My husband will be the last of his siblings to have children. All of his siblings have at least one. It's been a running joke in the family that if our first happens to be a girl, she won't be accepted because everyone else had a boy for a firstborn. The joke has never sat quite right with me, but I've laughed it off because I don't want to start anything, and maybe I'm just being sensitive. Fast forward to a few months ago when we started trying. It took about 3 months for me to get pregnant. We tracked my cycle and had scheduled our activities for the best chance. Infertility runs in my family. And my hubby and I agreed on a big family, so I've been worried about starting a family so late in the game. When I did get pregnant, we were overjoyed. We had all the typical couple conversations that come with having a baby. The excitement, names, nursery themes, gender predictions, etc. He talked about wanting his son first, so he could be the big, strong leader for all his younger siblings and carry on the family name. A very big deal to him instilled by his parents. I expressed my desire to have a little girl I could dress up and match with. It became a playful banter. He'd refer to the baby as son and I would call the baby our daughter. About a week before our gender scan, I searched up all the old wives' tales and made us a chart we could fill out together to see who would hypothetically win our little bet. It included a ring test, Chinese horoscope, heartbeat, cravings, etc. The results ended up being about 50-50 in the end, which made us even more excited to find out for certain at our scan. The following week, we went to our appointment and discovered that our baby was a girl. We were both extremely excited. Hubby was disappointed to lose, but told me he was overjoyed to be raising a daughter by my side. That night, we called our families to share the news. After calling his family, his mother asked to speak to him privately. I went to bed alone as their conversation carried on for well over an hour. The following morning, I woke up alone. There was a note on my husband's nightstand explaining that someone would be by the house to pick up his belongings later this evening. I immediately tried to call him, only to realize he had blocked my number. I then tried his mom. His mother picked up on the first ring, but before I had a chance to get a word in, she started chewing me out, calling me a manipulative witch. I asked her what I had done, and she told me I'd ruined her son's reputation with my inexcusable behaviors and tendencies. I let her finish her rant before kindly asking her what the heck she was talking about. She told me the divorce papers were already written up, and I wouldn't have the chance to tear apart the family like I had been intending to do all this time. I again, slightly less kindly this time, asked her what the heck she was talking about, to which she told me my husband would be leaving me because our child is a girl. I was gobsmacked. I explained to her that it takes two to tango, and there's no way to truly decide the gender of the baby. And if her or her son had a problem with the gender, it was his fault as it's his chromosome that determines the gender. But she said she had proof that I'd handpicked to have a girl. Like I said before, we used a calendar to determine which days would be the best for bedroom activities. Well, mother-in-law accused me of forcing him to do it with me on the specific day with a Chinese horoscope with point to girl. She also interrogated me on the position we used to conceive the baby, which I gave her a peace of mind and told her that was none of her business. But she smugly informed me that my husband had already told her and the position we used makes it 60% more likely to have a girl that way. If anyone's currently trying for a girl specifically, doing it with a woman on top sometime in the middle of February should do the trick every time apparently. She finished off by telling me that my clear preference for my family name was disgusting, and she was glad to finally be rid of me and my manipulative ways before hanging up. I've had no contact with my husband since, and it's been over a month. He's blocked me on everything. I can't help but feel that this hasn't all been his choice. But then again, he's a grown adult, so I can't imagine his mother controlling him like that. I've been staying with my sister since it all went down. She says I can stay as long as I need, but I'm thinking I want to get my own place. Maybe even a few states away. What do I do? Should I pack up and move on? Should I continue trying to contact my husband? Any advice would be appreciated. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Take him to court and get the child support that he owes you. He doesn't get to shake off his responsibility like that. Agreed. And luckily for OP, courts favor the mother. What in the literal hell? I am so sorry for you, OP. This is absolutely a crazy situation. For a woman to be sexist against a little baby girl is so insane to me. Your husband is for sure being manipulated and controlled by his mother. I would maybe try to see him in person after he gets off work or something and confront him about what the heck is going on. That way his mother can't intercept the conversation. It would be a lot harder for him to avoid giving you some answers. Outside of that, maybe talking to his friends that could talk some sense into him? I don't know. He needs to get away from his mother though. Best of luck, OP. All of those things people try to do to attempt to conceive a specific gender for the baby are myths. None of them are true. It's literally impossible for you to have influenced this. The fact that your mother-in-law is holding this against you is wild. Your husband has literally just abandoned you. This is disgusting behavior. I'm so sorry, OP. I hope things turn out better for you at the end of this. Best of luck. Now for the first update. Thank you all for all the love. It means so much to me right now. I should have mentioned originally that I had a gut feeling to record a call with my mother-in-law, so I have all of that on hand if it's needed in the future. I'm planning to try catching my husband on his way out of work sometime next week. I'd like to hear his side of the story. I've decided, however, that even if there's any saving our relationship, I'll be changing my last name back to my maiden name, and our daughter will be taking my last name, or at the very least have a hyphenated name. Call me feminist or whatnot, but it will be non-negotiable. I'll also be requiring many boundaries between me and his mother, and she will not be in my child's life until she can find it in her to apologize to me sincerely and change her attitude towards us. Now for the second update. Wow, I honestly haven't been on here at all since my last update, because, well, growing a human is hard as it is, and then add my crazy life on top of it. But after getting hundreds of emails from you guys today, I realized it must have been shared somewhere else to be blowing up like this. And now that there are so many of you, I figured I owe you all an update. So here it is. Hopefully I can get this all typed out in a way that makes sense. Even though it's been a few weeks since this all went down, I'm still in shock, and I haven't been able to collect my thoughts. Let's just blame it on the pregnancy brain and pretend that my life isn't falling apart before my own eyes. I was able to catch my husband as he was leaving work one night and got a side of the story out of him like I had hoped. As suspected, he admitted that he was excited for a baby girl, and after speaking to his mom, she forced him to leave and block me. His mother already had the divorce papers ready to go. I tried to tell him that we could fix this. We could raise our daughter together away from his mother. I know I sound not right in the head and naive for this, but I grew up in a household without a father figure, and I was hopeful my daughter could have a different home life experience than what I had. Not to discredit my mother, she is a great woman, and I hope I can be half of the woman she is for my daughter one day. Anyways, my husband had none of it. He said that he realized how conniving and manipulative and abusive I had been throughout our entire relationship, and he did want to actually go through with a divorce. He said he'd have no problem giving me full custody of the thing that's growing inside of me. That's when I lost all hope. Screw him. I have no problem leaving a man who's so easily brainwashed by his mother like that. I'll raise this baby alone. That's bad enough, but here's the real icing on the cake. I received a phone call from my soon-to-be ex-husband's brother's wife. We've always been quite close, and she's been my saving grace throughout my pregnancy, giving me all the tips for nausea, etc. She has 3 of her own, 2 boys and a girl. Anyways, she informed me over the phone that she overheard a conversation at weekly Sunday dinner that mother-in-law and husband are trying to blindside me in court and take full custody. I was livid, full on seeing red. I called mother-in-law straight away and demanded to speak to my husband. All he had to say for himself was that he realized he didn't want any of this offspring to be raised by such a manipulative freak, and even though he doesn't actually want her, he's sure he can grow to love her again. I'm not sure what to do at this point. I know I have a good case for myself, but I'm freaking terrified they'll win the battle and take everything from me. It brings tears to my eyes thinking about my daughter growing up somewhere where she isn't loved. Even if custody split is 50-50, I'll have no control over the lies they are guaranteed to feed her. My emotions are going haywire trying to write all this out, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for all the love and support you all have shown me and my baby girl. The internet can truly be an amazing place. Edit, adding that my brother-in-law and his wife are planning on leaving the family dynamic after seeing the way I've been treated. They have a daughter of their own, and while she's been accepted as she wasn't the firstborn, they're very uncomfortable with the misogyny within the family. Brother-in-law is the firstborn, and I think the what-ifs are messing with his head. Now for more comments before OP's last update. All I can really say is get a good lawyer. Document every single thing you can when it comes to this family, and as soon as you can, get away from them and make sure you are only in contact with people you truly trust. It's going to be messy and stressful, but I know you'll be strong enough to get through this for you and your baby. We're rooting for you. Thank you so much. I'm definitely keeping things documented, and most interactions have been recorded and are on file, and copies have been sent to my lawyer. Can you move to another state and establish residence there before the birth? This right here, OP. Move prior to divorce is started because it will show you're established, and it will be harder to ask for a move during a divorce or after. Divorces are messy sometimes because of people like your mother-in-law, etc. Record every phone call and have witnesses as well. Any child would be happy to have you as mom. You will be fine, and just keep moving forward every day at a time. Please keep us posted. I'm so incredibly sorry you're dealing with this. Your soon-to-be ex does not deserve you or your little one. Highly recommend getting a good lawyer ASAP and keep documenting/recording all your calls with them. Wishing you the best and sending so much love. Also, OP, thank you for sharing your story and keeping us all posted. This made me cry. Thank you so much. I am so sorry to hear his misogynistic ways caused him to call his own child a thing. He's no man, and his mother is no woman. What makes a mother is the level of compassion we have for others to care for others and protect our own, and she is not that. She will get what's coming to her one day, and she will regret everything she done. Her actions will cause her to lose all her children. And as for your husband, he cannot be an able-bodied human acting like he is now. As a new mom who has 2 beautiful baby girls, they are a blessing. They're like little angels on earth, and every day is so amazing to see them grow. You will get to experience such a wonderful thing happen with your baby girl, and she will look up to you the same way you looked up to your mother. One day, she will know the truth, and all she'll see is her mother as her hero. Now for the last update. Thank you so much for all your support. I've been in contact with my lawyer about how best to proceed, and for legal reasons, I'm not allowed to give any more information at this point in time. But I've seen all of your messages, and I'm truly so grateful for all the advice and care being sent our way. I have a very good lawyer working with me, and both me and my baby are and will be safe through the coming months. Once again, thank you all so much for your kindness. It's helped me feel somewhat sane throughout all of this. It made me realize that I am entitled to feel the ways I'm feeling. You've truly given me a community where people have my back and truly want what's best for me. I'll be logging off until things have settled and baby is born. Maybe I'll return for a final update at some point. But for now, I'm focusing on my own health and the health of my baby as I prepare for the courtroom. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for stealing my sister and nephew's thunder with my pregnancy announcement? I'm currently pregnant with my first child. My fiancé and I collectively decided to hold off telling people for at least 3 months for the following reasons. 1. Didn't want to jump the gun in case it didn't work out. And 2. My sister was mid-pregnancy with her first after struggling with conceiving for 7 years, and we didn't want to steal the thunder. So baby was born and all is well. My fiancé and I decided to hold off another month so all the attention could be on my sister and nephew. We announced to his friends and family in the meantime, and everyone was super thrilled. A few days ago, I told my parents and they were over the moon. I sent out a nice email with a little e-card and some sonogram pictures to the family members that are spread out and that I don't see regularly and can't tell in person. My sister included as she lives in a different state than I do. We got a lot of congratulations and excitement from most everyone, except my sister and her husband. She called, in tears, tearing into me for planning this and stealing attention from her son that took her so long to have. I told her this wasn't planned, it just happened. That made things worse, as I am significantly younger than her. And then it turned into her ranting at me how nice it must be to just be able to accidentally get pregnant when she had to fight, struggle, and, her words, actually work to have a family. Her husband was in the background and backing her up. I told her we had even taken an extra month to wait to tell people, specifically so she and my nephew could have undivided celebration and attention. Then I ended a call. My fiancé and his family are on our side. My family is a little too OMG new baby to gauge properly, but my sister and her husband definitely think I am an a-hole. Am I the a-hole here? Not the a-hole. Your sister may not be in a clear state of mind due to hormones, exhaustion, and potentially even postpartum depression. Don't take it too personally and let her have time to sit with it for a few days before trying to talk again. You've done nothing wrong, and she doesn't get to decide when someone else can get pregnant or under what circumstances. It was considerate of you to wait as long as you did. Yep, came here to say basically the same thing. Lack of sleep can really put you in a horrible emotional state. Give your sister space, enjoy your pregnancy, and celebrate with the people who want to celebrate with you. Not Day-Hole. Not Day-Hole, drama queen detected. I wouldn't want to call her a drama queen, but could be my own bias. I can't imagine being in her shoes and struggling with infertility, and only being able to have a kid in her almost mid-30s. It's definitely got to suck, and I feel for her deeply. I agree. I can understand why she would be upset, but she is the a-hole 100% for not understanding that what she is experiencing is jealousy, which is a natural human emotion and is okay to experience, and blaming it on you instead of dealing with it like an adult. It sucks, but it's not your fault in any way. Not a-hole, and in fact, you are very nice, because the second she attacked me over my fertility, I know my temper would have kicked in, but I would have said some very vile sister relationship changing words to her. So good job. I never get how people, grown adults even, are actually verbal nowadays about not getting enough attention. It just sounds pathetic and sad to me. I almost always have the same impulse to say, "You're a freaking adult." I partially feel maybe it's more about her nephew. She's the first of any of us to have kids on my side of the family, so she has gotten like mega superstar attention for it. And I feel maybe some of her insecurity is that her kid is gonna have competition possibly, now that is not the only baby.